Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Jag here. In today's class, we're going to continue with our Math 10 content, and we're going to try some more practice questions on the length of a line segment. So with that, let's get started. Okay, so here we are, and today we're covering the length of a line segment. Okay, so let's try something simple first. Okay, so let's do estimating the length of a line segment here. And let's do one question. Okay, so say let's do something simple first. I have 2 points here. I have point A, which is 2 and 1. And then I have point B here, which is 3 and 5. Okay, so what I always do first is just label the points. So the first point is x1, y1. And the second point is x2, y2. Okay, so I'm going to put down the length of the line segment. So because we're using points A and B, you could just write AB equals. Okay, and here's the formula. So it's going to be x2 minus x1 squared. And then plus the y2 minus y1 squared. Okay, and what you're doing is you're just going to sub it into this equation here. Okay, so take a look at, each of the points where I put the letters. So start with the x. So we're doing x2, which is 3, minus x1, which is 2. So you're doing like 3 minus 2 squared. Okay, and the second point is going to be y2, which is 5, minus y1, which is 1. 5 minus 1, and then you're going to square it. Okay, make sure you always do write, the formula before you substitute anything inside. I'm going to do one more step here. So we're doing 3 minus 1 or 2, which is 1. So 1 squared. 5 minus 1 is 4. So you're doing 4 squared. Okay, and notice we're getting 1 plus 16. Okay, so the length of this line segment is going to be the square root of 17. Okay, if your teacher wants an exact value, you're just going to put that into your calculator. Okay, however, it is not actually necessary to do that. Okay, if you are using an exact value and you put square root 17 in your calculator, I would round it to 1 decimal place. All right, is everyone good there? Okay, let's go to the next question. Okay, so it looks like it's a word problem. Okay, I'm going to just read it out loud. On a city map, the coordinates of 2 department stores are given. The first one is 4 and 3. And the second one is 1 and 7. Okay, so these are where the department stores are located, on the grid. It says, how far apart are the stores if each unit on the map represents 1 kilometer? Okay, let's label this. So x1, y1. This is my second point, That's why we're putting x2 and y2. Okay, so maybe let's just, I'm just going to put like A and B here. Okay, it doesn't really matter what the letters are. Okay, this is just so I can write out the actual formula. Okay, so the formula is again x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared, like this. Okay, and so what you're going to do is again just sub it into this equation. So we're going to do x2, so 1 minus x1, which is 4. So make sure you're always putting the square root sign, all the way down. So we're going to do 1 minus 4 squared, and plus the y2, so 7 minus y1, which is 3, and squared. Okay, you should actually memorize, the formulas. Not all teachers give you the formulas on quizzes or tests. I would make sure I memorize it just in case. So this is 1 minus 4, which is negative 3 squared. Okay, plus 7 minus 3, which is 4. So you're going to do 4 squared, like this. So negative 3 squared, which is 3 times 3, 9, plus 16. Okay, where you're doing 4 squared. Okay, we're going to add that together here. This becomes the square root of 25, which is equal to 5 kilometers. Okay, and because again, it's a word problem, there should be a therefore statement here, And it's saying how far apart are the stores. So therefore, I'm going to put the stores are, okay, let's put 5 kilometers apart. This is from each other. Okay, because remember these coordinates represents basically where each of the stores is actually located. Okay, and you're just trying to see what the distance is between the two coordinates. Okay, so in this case, it is 5 kilometers. So with that, let's try one last example. Okay, and I think we have enough room right here, so let's do it at the top. All right, so what we're going to do for this, it says find the length of the median from point P for a triangle. The vertices are given. So P is -2, -2. Q is going to be 7 and -1. And R is going to be 1 and 5. Okay, so I have these 3 coordinates, okay, for the triangle itself. All right, so what we're first going to do, okay, is we are looking for the midpoint. So if you want to do like maybe like a really quick sketch, it says the length of the median, okay? So I'm going to do a quick sketch here just so you can see. So say I'm doing point P is right here. So it's -2, -2, okay? Point Q is going to be 7 and -1, okay? So let's do 7 points here. And this is -1, right? So right here, this is point Q. Remember to always do the X coordinate first and then the Y coordinate. R is equal to 1 and 5. So this is R, okay, right over here, like this. Okay, and what you're going to do is just kind of like join these dots together. So it looks like this, okay? Now it is important, okay, that you do actually like do a quick sketch of the triangle. And this is just so you know what you're solving for, okay? So in the first step, I notice I do. So I'm looking for the length of the median. Remember the median goes through like the midpoint. If I ballpark it, maybe it's here somewhere, okay? So this would be the midpoint of RQ. So let's do that here. I'm going to write midpoint RQ. Okay, and I do have to find the midpoint. Okay, so let's do capital M RQ. Okay, remember when you're finding the midpoint, x1 plus x2 divided by 2, y1 plus y2 divided by 2. So it looks like this. Okay, the coordinates that we're using here is basically here R and Q. Okay, so we're going to add these coordinates together. I'm going to do 7 plus 1 divided by 2. These are the x coordinates. And then you're adding the y coordinates as well. Okay. And then we'll do, let's just put -1. Oh, let's use the same value. So -1 plus 5 divided by 2. Okay. Like this. And then this is 8 divided by 2, which is 4. This is -1 plus 5, which is 4 divided by 2, which is 2. This is my midpoint. I can see this is quite accurate, okay? I just kind of ballparked it, but this is where the actual midpoint is. And so you notice even when you're making a sketch, okay, your sketch will be quite accurate, okay? So we're just going to, I'll put capital M, okay? We're joining these two dots together to make the line. This is the line of the median, okay? Does everyone see that? This is the line of the median. So what you're going to do in the second step is I'm actually just looking for the length, okay, of this median. Okay, so let's actually substitute that in, okay? And it's going to be, oh, let's write length. Okay, so the length of PM. Okay, so we'll just write like PM equals, okay, and then you're doing the square root Again, let's write the equation out. So x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. Make sure also when you're memorizing the formula that you are memorizing it like this. You're actually adding. It's a plus sign in between, okay, the two squared values here. Okay, and so maybe we will use, okay, so basically what we're using is this point right here. So P, let's do x1, y1. And we're using the value of m. So this is x2, y2. Okay, so note down, I don't need to use the value of r or q. Okay, I'm just looking for the length of this line segment. So if you're looking for the length of a line segment, both these points, P and M, you see, are actually lying on this actual median. Okay, R and Q don't lie on the median, so I can't actually use that point. Okay, so let's try subbing it in here for the length. Okay, my x2 value is 4, so put the square root sign. Also, make sure you're putting the square root sign all the way down. Okay, so it says x2 minus x1. x1 is negative 2. Okay, so I'm going to put it in brackets like this and squared. Okay, and then you're doing y2 here, which is 2, minus y1, okay, if you can see at the top, it's also negative 2. I'm going to double bracket that, and squared, okay? So if you look really closely here, make sure you put the negative sign 2 times. This becomes 4 plus 2, okay, which is 6 squared. And this becomes 2 plus 2, which is 4 squared. Okay, does everyone see that? So what this becomes here is going to be 36, okay, plus 16. And you're adding it together, which is equal to 52. Okay, so it's basically square roots of 52. Okay, so therefore the length of the median from vertex P, okay, is going to be square root of 52. Okay, so note down again, I don't need to do the exact value here unless your teacher asks you to do that, okay? And that's the only time I would put it into my calculator. All right, so this was basically the length of a line segment. All right, so just all you need to remember is to actually just memorize this formula here. So it's the square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared, okay? Anytime you're looking for the length of a line segment, okay, both the points have to be lying on the line itself. And all you're doing is just like subbing it into the equation itself, okay? If you get like this, what we got for the second example, square root 25, which is equal to 5. So you can simplify that, okay? However, if it's something like this, where you have square root 52 and you know it's a decimal, okay, you could just leave it like that because it is the exact value. All right, so that looks good. And if there are no questions, that does bring this video to an end. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure you do like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and I will see everyone in the next video. Thanks, bye.